Trying to see if my music's working this morning. It's Friday. It's game day. Nothing like Friday Night Lights. Who else is pumped? It's just me. All right, yeah, I added some music, just experimenting here to see if we can set the mood for Friday. All right, that's. I don't even know how to turn it off. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Morning Buzz. My name is Mike Brady. I'm the host, and here we are. We made it Friday, March 19th, 2021. It's a big day in Templeton, specifically if you're an Eagles football fan, and we are super excited to get those boys back out on the field this evening, with just any circumstance that they have faced over the last year, being able to overcome that, and here we are. And yeah, it's only football, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal to a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old boy who really all they want to do is play football, right? So very excited for them to be able to do that. Thank you, Coach Crow. Thank you, Coach Farley. Thank you, Mr. Asplin, Mr. Burnett, Mr. Aston, all of the staff that just devotes every waking moment to giving these kids, the best opportunities possible. And so here we are. We made it. It's Friday, the 19th of March, the first Friday night football of the season. So yeah, it's March. So we will get used to it, I promise. Okay, what do we have today? We have Friday Night Lights. Hey, real quick, I want to talk about the Templeton flags that have been going all over. You see them all over town. Let me screen share here. Boom. Share this. Turn this on. Templeton flags. There we go. You guys can see my screen here. We will have T flags available for purchase tonight at the stadium. If you are in or around the stadium tonight, there's going to be a number of us that have them in our possession to sell. And if you want, we can. And if you're even not going to the game, but you're going to be in and around town, and you want us to link up with you, then by all means, let's hit me up, DM me, whatever you need to do. Tell me you want me to hold a flag for you, and then you can Venmo Kelly Hanchett or make a check payable to THSCI. Those flags, we basically profit, I want to say $12 or $14 per flag, and all of that money dumps into this fund that the Culture Initiative has. And if you don't know what the Culture Initiative is, it's a nonprofit that's set up to really channel funds from donors to kids that don't necessarily have that aren't necessarily connected to any one type of thing or organization, right? So they do a lot for kids that don't have a lot. So it's really cool. Anyways, the T flags will be available, $37.50. All the profits go to the Culture Initiative, which funds a bunch of cool things. So yeah, there it is, $37.50. You can Venmo Kelly, you can DM me, you can hit me up on this if you want, and just tell me to hold one for you too, and I'm more than welcome to do that. So let's see here. There are two parents. Okay, so I'm just reading, making sure I'm up to date on my CI news. That is it. I'll post this on the Morning Buzz page as well, so we can go from there. Let me do something real quick. I want to stop sharing the screen, and I just want to monitor to make sure that you guys are Getting my messages loud and clear this morning. There's so many other things that happened in the afternoon that are kind of shaping the attendance that's going to be had at the football game tonight, and so I wanted to cover that with you as well. It seems like, yep, it's working perfect. Okay, just let me zoom this guy out, and we are going to there. I'm back. All right, so I'm gonna do this too. I want to see if you guys. Yes, Lori, Kelly Hanchett is my hero too. So cool. I'm gonna get the chat going here so you guys can see if there's any messages coming in, so I can read them also full time. Yes, it is game day. In case you missed it at the top of the show, I'm gonna redo the intro. Let's see here. This is how I started the show this morning. I want to make sure that we get all of the stuff going here. Okay. I added music to the show. This is just the pump up music for all of us to get ready to watch some Friday Night Lights. And so, if you're not able to be in attendance at the game because you're not volunteering or you don't have a child that's an athlete that's playing, there are ways to watch the game. And one of the ways you can do that is on live stream broadcast, which, let me find it. Here we go. Put this here. There we go. Share my screen again. So it's nfhsnetwork.com /schools Templeton high school Templeton. I don't know if you have to do all of that, but I'm pretty sure you can just go to the homepage and search. Like, let's go to the homepage, find your school, Templeton High School, boom, and there it is. So that's all you got to do. It's nfhsnetwork.com. The link is on the Morning Buzz Show. I'll drop this link in the chat right now so you guys can see that. Is that music still playing? I can't tell. Anyway, so that's one way for you guys to be able to watch the game. The other way for you to watch the game is to volunteer. And so there are a number of different things that you can volunteer for. But I do know that as of last Friday, the boosters, they were looking for volunteers to run snack bar stuff. And so if you are interested in finding out more information about that, you can go to Gmail or go to your email and send an email to Melinda and the other boosters. It's THS Athletic Boosters Club at gmail.com. Send them an email. Tell them that you're interested in helping to volunteer, working at the snack bar or anything else that they need over at those games. And then you can, be in the snack bar, providing snacks for people, but also catch some of the game as well. And the other way is, I know there's tons of different things going on in and around town, but I have heard that there's some watch parties going on. So I don't know if I get any of the specifics, then obviously I'll share that stuff with you as well. So that's let's see here. That's watching the game tonight. And again, this nfhsnetwork.com, not only are you going to be able to watch Templeton High School football games, you're going to be able to watch with your subscription. You'll be able to watch other football games as well, but most of the stuff that takes place on the football field in Templeton, and then they're working on putting these live stream cams up at the softball and baseball fields as well. So hopefully we'll be able to live stream some of that and catch that as well. Let's see, what else did I want to cover with you guys? So last night, in case you missed it, I went live for a few minutes to talk. There was a what do you call it? Announcement. Thank you. That went out talking about what the guidelines for attendance are for the stadium tonight, and the school issued a statement last night. Here's the statement. Basically, it says they're trying to do everything that they can to minimize further disruptions and confusion to the general public and the students. And so in doing so, they're taking what the county guidance is, and then they're taking what their previous guidance was and kind of morphing it into a hybrid of that. And so they're saying we're going to allow 2 members of the student athlete's household. So it says 2 members of the student athlete's household will be allowed as spectators. Now, what I didn't get from that is age, right? Because the guideline was what was the guideline? It had to be people that were older than the athlete in the house. And so I'm just still trying to find if we know the answer to if it still has to be somebody that's older than the athlete, or is it just 2 people? So as soon as I find that out, I will update you guys on that. But hopefully it's just any 2 members of the household. So the guidance is there. There's the school's statement last night. It's on the Morning Buzz site. Let me drop this in the chat as well, so you guys have that. Okay, there's the link. The snack bar, again, here's a couple more announcements. The snack bar is in fact open as of yesterday morning. They were thinking about maybe not opening because if we were only going to have 1 person there, then that was going to be an issue. But now they're saying they are open. And so again, if you want to get involved in volunteering, email them. It's thsathleticboostersclub@gmail.com. Get your name on the list, and I'm sure they would welcome all the help that they can get. We talked about the CI flags. One last announcement, and then we'll jump into some news with Anthony from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. The other announcement I had today at 8:15, I believe it's 8:15. Yeah, 8:15, Melissa Johnson is coming on with us. Melissa is in charge of the Parks and Rec Department here in Templeton. She's going to give us kind of the update, what's going on, all things Templeton Parks and Rec. But we had her on earlier this week, and she mentioned that she is looking for volunteers to sign up to be umpires for girls softball. So they have an umpires clinic happening on March 27th, which is end of next week, I believe. And they are paying. It's a paid position for you to work as an umpire for the Templeton Parks and Rec. And so she is saying that you're going to earn anywhere from $30 to $50 a game. And I'll clarify that with her a little more this morning. But that's something, if you're 14 years old or older, you can sign up to be a umpire for Templeton Parks and Rec Department. So very cool. I've also got a ton of things going on this weekend that I want to do. It's ZenFest, which is always exciting, and while it's not ZenFest of old, it's ZenFest of new, but it's 2021 style, and so it looks like there's going to be plenty of people out and about, and some of the musicians that I know here in the neighborhood and around town, looks like they're pretty active. I know Todd, the guitar player in my band, playing 4 shows this weekend, and none of them are with my band. They're with other bands, and so Todd's got 4 shows. Natalie Lola, who's another musician out of Orchid, who's awesome. She's playing, I think, 4 or 5 shows here in the North County this weekend. So Emily Smith's playing everywhere. Rolf is playing. There's just a ton of activity going on with live music, which is exciting to see. All right, let me turn this screen off. We'll get Anthony in here from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions, and then we put you right heading up. How are you doing, Anthony?
Hey, good morning, Mike. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's going real good.
Good.
So
Good.
What's happening out and about today?
So just a real quick follow-up from the Sheriff's Department from February 13th. There was a home invasion robbery in rural San Luis Obispo on the 13th of February. And the Sheriff's Department, they released a statement late last night that said that they caught the suspect, Johnny Jesse Roman of San Luis Obispo. They caught him in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And so he is waiting extradition back to California, where he faces robbery charges, false imprisonment charges, and also elder abuse and vehicle theft. So for those of you that remember that, that on February 13th, that's a little follow-up on that. Early this morning, at around 3:30, and on the intersection of Creston Road and Neil Springs Road, there was a solo vehicle a collision involving a Honda Fit that crashed into a utility pole. I don't know the extent of the injuries, but I don't think that there was any power lost out there either.
I will answer. I'll speak to that. It's funny. I know exactly the utility pole, and I believe there's been somebody killed at that pole before. And when I woke up this morning, as soon as I got the coffee going, it was about 4:30. I actually did lose power. We lost power at our house for about 5 minutes, and I don't know if it was related to that, but that is fairly close to where we live.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't get a ton of information on it because it was in the wee hours of the morning. But from what I know, there was just an accident. I don't know the extent of injuries at that. So other than that, for those of you that don't know where the intersection is, it's right like southeast of Paso, like along Creston Road, kind of along the back roads to Templeton. So it's not on a like well-traveled or a well-known street, but that's just southeast of Paso. So
got it. Okay. Anything else we need to know about that happened overnight?
Not overnight. Just CHP is just giving out its kind of weekend warnings, as I like to call them, just to be safe and just whatever you're doing. And they want to just remind people that we are still in a pandemic. So just be cautious of that and just be respectful of people on the road.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Anthony, for joining us this morning. We're going to see you back here at 7:55.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Talk to you.
All right.
All right, that's Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. Again, his Facebook page is really cool. It's got over 5,000 followers. He updates kind of what's going on 24/7. He's on it. And so, it's funny. I did have that power outage on my end this morning, and I was assuming it was related to probably something that was, transformer getting hit or something like that. But, we lost power at around 4:30-ish, but it was back on within 5 minutes. I'm actually looking at the PG&E outage website, and I don't see, let's see here. There's nothing reported there in that neck of the woods. But like I said, the power was out for 5 minutes, and then it came back on. Looks like there's no outages happening right now. Okay, so weather today is going to be, it's about 52 degrees right now. The high is saying 59 degrees. And I don't like the fact that there's drizzle happening in some places in Templeton. But chance of rain is going to be 30% up through the morning, up into the afternoon. We have 40% chance of rain at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., an hour before kickoff, we've got a 30% chance of rain. So that's interesting. Get that field to be a little slippery, maybe. But it's supposed to be cloudy all day. It doesn't say torrential downpours. So I don't know. Plan accordingly. Bring bring something that's going to keep you dry, I guess, if you want. Basically, don't wear flip-flops and shorts. Or maybe you do. I don't know. It's California. So, all right. So we talked about the announcements. What I want to do this morning is kind of run through what's happening all over town. Because it is ZinFest weekend. It's a weekend of celebration. It's a weekend that the wineries are showcasing all of their Zinfandels and all and I was trying to get Joe Barton from Grey Wolf Barton Wines on with us this morning, but it sounds like he's tied up with all of his pregame festivities for ZinFest weekend. But let's run down what's happening today. If you are interested in, going out and listening to live music, drinking wine before going to the football game, make sure you do it responsibly. But today, let's see, Jay Ducey. Janelle has Matt Cross playing over there from 12 to 3. So Jay Ducey's got live music this afternoon. Derby Wine Estates is hosting a 4 p.m. happy hour. It's called the Vintage Happy Hour. They've got something going on there. Cass Winery has a band called Unfinished Business starting at 6 p.m. tonight. This is called Sunset Social. That's out at Cass Winery. Also tonight at the Poorhouse, there's a reggae band called Roz Danny and the Reggae All-Stars. It starts at 7 p.m. The Bar The Rodeo in Paso behind the newsstand there on 12th Street. There's a Ghost Monster duo at 9 p.m. Ghost Monster is one half of that duo is that girl that I was talking about, Natalie Lola out of Orchid, and she's phenomenal. I've actually followed her since 2010 or 11, and she's just been a very, very active musician on the Central Coast for a really long time, and she's way talented, beautiful voice. So she's fun to watch. So that's tonight at the Rodeo. Locatelli Vineyard San Miguel, 1 to 4 today, live music with Matt Davis. And so you can go out there. So that's just what's happening today, right? Tomorrow, obviously, one thing I do want to talk about with today too is the Mid-State Fair is hosting their market today from 11 to 6. And if you don't know about the Mid-State Fair market, it's basically, I'm going to pull it up so we can scroll through it together, but it's food, it's shopping, it's antiques. It's like I don't know, they call them bazaars, or what do they call them? Like it's kind of like a festival type environment, but it's food and shopping. It's just it's a market. It's a street market that they're hosting. So that's cool. And that's from 11 to 6 today. I did see Bonnie over from Jimmy's. I think they're going to be providing food out there. So you can check out that. And then no, my computer just totally jacked up on me. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find the event so I could share it with you, but I can't. So let me go back here. Facebook events. So I get a lot of these events on Facebook. I just click on the events tab and then scroll through them to see what is happening. Mid-State Fair. Let's see here. Here we go. Share the screen. So there's the Mid-State Fair. I'll give you the here. It's free. Okay, it's free admission, one-day shopping opportunity to find antiques, new and used items, plus handmade items from local artisans and crafters. Featured vendors will have apparel, beauty products, and items for your home, garden, and kitchen. So March 19th, that's today, and then they have a couple more 3 more coming up. April 16th, May 14th, and June 18th, 11 to 6. So what I'll do before the April 16th one is I'll get Colleen on from the fair to kind of run through what we can expect over there. But okay, so per county guidelines, regulations, must wear masks, remain socially distanced, and then no congregating. So that's happening at the fairgrounds today if you're looking for something to do. Okay, so tomorrow, what do we have? Lots of wineries. Again, like I said, having lots of things going on tomorrow. Jay Ducey is having Emily Smith. Emily Smith is the wife of a really dear friend of mine, Justin Johnston, and they Emily's been playing again here for years. She played with a couple different duos, but she's got an amazing voice and just a super talented songwriter. So she's going to be out at Ducey tomorrow for 12 noon. Centennial Park, there's a painting class going on tomorrow from 11 to 12:30. Paint and Lemonade Party, it's called. It's adult painting. You're painting rainbows using acrylics on canvas. Okay, so that's a hour and a half painting class. Probably really good therapy if you want to just kind of zone out and be artistic for an hour and a half or so. And if you want to go sweat and risk injury, there's a roller skating trail skate happening tomorrow at Morro Strand State Beach. Lots of roller derby girls do this thing, and then just anybody, beginners all the way to advanced, can come out and go to Morro Strand at 1 p.m. To do the roller skating trail skate. Brugge, have you guys heard of Brugge? Brugge is not, it's not brew and it's not yoga. It's the two combined to formed Brugge. Yes, you can drink beer and do yoga all in the same sitting. The downward dog pose as you're drinking the deal. But it's at Tent City tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you want to drink beer and do yoga, go for it. What else? Dark Star Cellars. Natalie Gelman is coming on at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The Poorhouse JD Project is playing tomorrow at the Poorhouse starting at 7. Broken Earth, my good buddy Todd, and Todd's playing guitar for Rolf. Rolf and the Chaos will be at Broken Earth tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then also Todd is going to finish that gig and then go out to Cass Winery and play guitar for Lulu and the Cowtippers at 6. So Lulu and the Cowtippers will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Cass Winery. Sculptera is having Tom Corbett and Steve Key at 12:30 tomorrow. Steve Key, I believe, does the Songwriters at Play. So he's pretty active in the community as well. So, and then Locatelli Vineyards tomorrow, Jill Knight at 1 p.m. Ghost Monster is playing again. That's Natalie Lola's group tomorrow night at 6 at the Kelly Pasto Tasting Room, downtown Paso. So that's awesome. Graveyard Vineyards is hosting at 1 p.m. the Belmores, which is another group. And then my good buddy from Bakersfield, he comes out to the coast every once in a while to play. He's not playing here locally in the North County, but he's playing in Avila tomorrow. So I told him I'd give him a little plug. But so it's Pure Front Wine and Brew. My buddy Joe Peters will be there playing his acoustic country songs from 3 to 6. And then also at Stillwater Vineyards. So remember I said Ghost Monster, Natalie Lola, right? She's playing like 17 shows on the Central Coast this weekend. She's playing the rodeo on Friday night. And then she's playing, where else is she playing? I just said it. Ghost Monster is playing, no, wait. I lost my place. She's playing at Stillwater anyways tomorrow night, or tomorrow at 3. So she's got 2 gigs tomorrow, 1 gig tonight. Oh yeah, she's playing at Kelly Paso tomorrow night, and she's playing at Stillwater tomorrow day. So by Sunday, she's gonna sound like Janis Joplin. Her voice will just be ready to just rock. Anyways, it's time to bring on Mr. Mac. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. Did you see I added a new element to the show?
What'd you add?
Let's hold on. Let me see if I can get it up and running. Stand by. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I got the music going.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm experimenting. I don't know if it's even legal at this point, but
I think you got, as long as you don't play more than 15 seconds or something. That is my non-legal
right
advice for you.
Well, it's funny when so in radio back in the day when we would produce shows and use music for intros, radios have the licensing available to be able to play any song that they want, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine at some point the Morning Buzz could probably look into getting that licensing to do legit things, right?
To be honest, Mike, I'm kind of surprised that companies haven't already been hitting you up and asking you to play their music.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, no, I don't.
It's hard on the staff there at the Morning Buzz to just keep up with all of it.
Yeah, I have Benny, Billy, and Buckley. Those are my 3 dogs, and they just run around all morning as I'm doing this.
Hey, so Mike, I was just down on the football field. Sun's rising amidst the clouds. The field is chalked or painted. It's been mowed. We're excited about tonight, especially if it doesn't rain. We're excited about tonight.
Yeah. So how is it? Is it drizzling down there?
Yeah, maybe a couple drops, but nothing to speak of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great night. Great night.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I was there 2 days ago, and the field, or maybe 3 days ago, the field wasn't chalked yet. It was in the process of getting mowed, but the turf looks good.
Yeah.
Like I think, after 14 months of not being used or whatever it's been, right? Or 13 months, I think it's in prime condition. They've done a good job of upkeep, and the stadium actually looked really clean. Like there's been a lot of volunteer work going on, just kind of cleaning up around the snack bar and prepping all of that area. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the kids are excited to play too.
And did you know
you can listen to it because I know you won't be, it's not 7 to 9. So you can listen to the game on KPRL radio. I was talking with Dick Mason yesterday. He was around on campus yesterday, kind of checking out practice yesterday afternoon. And he's going to be doing the play-by-play. Got a special guest who's going to be his color man tonight. So if people want to listen in, KPRL 1230 AM.
You're just going to leave us hanging?
Oh, there's no way I'm telling you who it is. You're going to have to tune in and listen.
Is his name Matt McFarland?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay.
No, and Dick Mason, he's excited about. I think this is the first time this guy's ever been his color man. And they probably jump on the radio I'm going to guess about 6:30 for the 7 o'clock kickoff.
Awesome.
And the 7:01 run back from Tyler Kachevsky on the kickoff that they mistakenly kicked to him, and he runs it back just to start it off right.
You're calling it.
I'm going to call it, and when it happens, you can play this tape.
All right, I'm going to go and check the odds makers and see what the what the odds are on that. Okay, so did you hear also tonight at the game we're going to have the flags available?
Oh, that's amazing.
The T flags. Yeah, no, we're pumped about that.
Yeah, so neat to see those. At businesses and homes around the community. I think we sold over 100 or something of them already, and
127.
127. Awesome. And there's a limited number. We've already, reordered. Correct me if I'm wrong. Reordered, and we're already selling into that reorder.
Mm-hmm.
So to buy it tonight, Mike, what do you got to do?
All you have to do is locate myself. I'll be up at the press box, and then Marcy's going to be there. She's going to have flags. I'm going to have flags. I think we're going to have 20 or 30 of those things available just on standby. But if you want to reserve one of those tonight, then you can DM me on the Morning Buzz right now, or you can send me an email, morningbuzz@aroundtown@gmail.com, or you can text Kelly if you know us, whatever, or just leave a comment here and we'll make sure that we flag you and then send you the info to make sure that you pay for it. And we're accepting checks made out to THSCI, but we're also accepting Venmo, Kelly Hanchett's Venmo. Let me pull up that flyer again while I have it. Keep talking. I'll look for the flyer.
Yeah, is there any truth? I'm not sure. The rumor mill is just huge around here, but is there any truth that the first person to buy a flag from you gets an autographed copy of a picture of you? Is that true? I can't remember.
Limited though. Limited.
Right. Only the first one.
Right. I have to make sure that, I'm kind of doing it under the radar. Otherwise my agent will just have a field day with me. So
totally get it.
There's no agent, by the way. All right. So okay. Here's the flyer. I found it. There it is. So 2 ways to pay: Venmo Kelly Hanchett, or make check payable to THSCI. Yeah. Hey, talk about the culture initiative real quick. How did this come about? And like, give me some examples of use of funding.
Yeah. Okay. So it started before I got here. I've been here 5 years, but when I was over at the middle school, it started here, and it was started by Becky Gray, Sabrina Cruz, and some other parents who really wanted to have a way to influence the culture on the campus. And so this is really a booster club for a booster group for kind of the for everybody else who doesn't have a booster club. So drama's got boosters, and there's athletic boosters, and there's all sorts of different groups that have their parent group behind them pushing. Mm-hmm. This is for everybody else. This is but their focus is on improving the culture. And so a couple examples. They will fund Link Crew's like freshman barbecue, where we're not actually barbecuing freshmen, but we're barbecuing for freshmen. A couple years back, we hired the actual runners from McFarland USA, from the movie, not the actors, but the real ones. And they came and spoke on campus, kind of motivational speakers, encouraging people to push forward regardless of your situation, and challenges make you strong, and that kind of thing. That sort of stuff. They purchased the flags for us that we fly down Main Street that you'll see at the game tonight. Just things that are designed to build character, build culture, and life on our campus.
And so they also have a fund called Linda's Locker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Linda's Locker does a lot of really, really cool things.
Yeah. And the point of that is sometimes we have students who are struggling financially, and it's a way for us to help them out in small and moderate sized ways. For example, if someone if they can't afford a yearbook, let's say, they might step in. A cap and gown, they can't afford to buy one of those. Well, Linda's Locker is happy to take care of that, because if money is your only problem, you got no problems.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always people around that are willing to step in and help, and make sure people are taken care of. That field trip that might cost a certain amount of money, or you want to be on that team, but you can't afford the whatever the cost is, and they'll step in and try to help out and make that possible.
That's so cool. I love that. So the other things that aside CI that we wanted to talk about today, sorry, I didn't have a smooth segue and transition into another topic. I just move.
Speaking of ways people could know about things,
we're just going. Yeah, we're just running through stuff. You sent me, so let's run through here the school webpage.
Yeah, not everybody. People might be traveling to work or something like that, and they can't catch the morning buzz or whatever, and they're looking for the opportunity to find out more about what's going on campus. My social media class, I've got some kids in there that are working really hard to try to bridge that gap between community and school. And one of the ways they do that is through the school website. And on that school website, you will see it's kind of your basic website that has all sorts of highlights of events that are coming on. So on that page, for example, you'll see highlights of things as you see the banner kind of flipping through there. But as you explore on the page, you'll find out registration information, how to contact teachers. There's sport pages for each one of our sports that you could go to. There's a drama page. All kind of, they highlight the life of the school. Mm-hmm. And it's a great way. You'd be surprised how many people visit. I mean, over 100,000 people have accessed, or I shouldn't say 100,000 people. Over 100,000 times the page has been accessed in the last year. Just people going to, find out information about things.
Sure.
What's going on.
And this is all student built up cap?
Yeah. I'm the advisor, but, making sure that right information is getting up there. But that's it.
That's great. And so did the kids learn how to build this?
Well, it's kind of it's more what they're learning is how to gather information and present it in a way that graphically draws people's attention.
Yep.
And gets the right information across. Because, I mean, the school purchased this, and all of the sites have a page like this, so it's kind of preloaded in a format.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. This will be my second read of the morning every day.
Yes.
The first one will be your newsletter, and then this will be the second one, and then that's how I'll compile all things Templeton Eagles.
Yeah, and this morning's sports email that went out, we had a little preview of the baseball team. If your baseball starts next week, so if you're interested in that, we sat down with a coach and got some info from him, and then Coach Crow gives us a quick little preview of what to expect tonight from Wasco. So if you haven't subscribed for that, you can email me or Mike Brady or whatever. I see you also put up our blog.
I did, yeah. So your email address is down below if you guys want to subscribe to the morning newsletter that Mr. Mack puts out. But yeah, I did pull up the blog too, because the blog is awesome.
Yeah, so this blog is produced by two students, Jenna Sanders and Haley Roberts, and this was Jenna Sanders. And every week they produce a different article. So this week it is on drama. Drama opened last night. I was talking to the drama teacher this morning. She was very pleased with how it went, and that was a dress rehearsal picture that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
But this story, if you catch it on, it's called News from the Nest.
Yeah,
and it's a WordPress thing, and that one's really been well received. We've been doing that for 2 years now, and we have been read on 6 of the 7 continents, as well as multiple states have read it. And I think the last article, which was on our Boys State nominees, I think that was read in 4 different countries.
Wow.
So pretty cool. We got, you can subscribe to that, and it'll come out every so often.
Yeah, and I just posted in the chat the link to it, so you guys can click on that to subscribe.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so the 2 students that run it again are?
Yeah, Jenna Sanders.
Okay.
And Haley Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenna and Haley.
Yeah, and then and this one is our podcast. This is the first year we've done this. Voices from the Nest. Such a cool thing. We have two senior girls, Jordan and Emma, and they produce this every other week, and you can listen to it on Spotify. And the most recent one went up this morning, and it is kind of their reflections on coming back to school, being on campus this week. So it's from a student point of view. It's all student created. They have their own studio at home that they kind of created, and they send it to me before it goes up. But other than that, I help them figure out. I give them some ideas on what they might consider doing a podcast on, but they ultimately make that choice. So this one was Back to School, the hybrid edition, and they've done other ones, introducing people on campus, or going away to college edition, or all sorts of different things. And Mike, I was thinking, because I know you're a podcaster.
Yes.
I was thinking you might want to get those girls on the show, because I have them from 8 to 9.
Today?
Actually, I do have them today, and I have them. I don't know what's today, Friday. So I don't know when I have them also on. I also have them next Tuesday in class.
Okay. Well, let's make that happen next Tuesday.
Okay, cool. I'll talk to them. They'd be totally excited. I mean, to think that they could be on the Morning Buzz. Right.
Oh yeah. Well, that's cool. I've listened to a few of their episodes, and it's awesome. When I was in high school, I had visions and dreams of starting a campus radio station, because the show of the day back then was Beverly Hills 90210, and they had a radio station at their high school, and I was so like, why don't we have that? But the motivation factor of a 16, 17-year-old isn't like the greatest. So the fact that these girls are motivated to do this,
Yeah.
and are following through and putting these out consistently, that's awesome. So cool.
Yeah. So I will talk to them. I'm sure they'd love to be on the show. And we'll just figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, no, I'd love that. That'd be great. Maybe they can co-host.
That'd be great, but they could only do it from 8 to 9.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, just a thought, but it'd be cool to do like a student edition of the Morning Buzz every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Right?
And they would do it because they could get on at 7 and then they would just run it through their class. So we could make that work.
Awesome. Well, let's work on that. That'd be fun. What time are you going to be on the field tonight?
Well, it's going to be a busy day for me, Mike, because I'm going out to cross country, watch my daughter's second to last race, and that's out at Morro Bay, starting at 3:30. So I'm gonna hope to get here. I'm probably gonna miss the guys running on the field. I mean, not for the game start, but for the practice or warm up. But I'm gonna be here by game time. So one way or another, I'm gonna get here by game time.
Okay, so I know we're limited attendance. Is there any type of like flags that they're running through or anything? Or we're gonna do something. All right, cool.
So yeah, we're limited in a lot of different ways, but we are going to make sure that one way or another, our guys are going to be passing between those beautiful green flags.
Awesome. So cool. Well, I can't wait to see it, and I'll be there in person. But I'm wondering, is the live stream going to be available for replay?
That's a great question.
I would,
to be honest, I'm hoping it's available to watch live. Coach Farley was working pretty late yesterday, trying to communicate with the other people. He was up in the sound booth, trying to get all the everything on their end working. Cameras there. I mean, they had to wait for the lines to be painted for it to calibrate. So then with the calibrating and then getting past the school network firewall, and we got that fixed, but then I think those guys are on the East Coast, so they were already closed for the night. So Coach Farley, man, that guy deserves like a Medal of Honor for all the work he's doing to make things happen.
Oh,
and but you got radio, you got live stream, hopefully radio live stream. Plus, we'll have some people there, and we will have pictures. I know Mike Brenler's going to be there, so he always takes some amazing pictures. And I'll be there. He's got a much nicer camera and much better photographer for night shots. But we'll get things. We're gonna make it work.
Well, worst case, if it's not live streamed, maybe somebody in the audience will just go Facebook Live illegally, but whatever.
No, we're gonna make it work. I'm sure they're gonna get the camera working. It's just a matter of putting in the time today. And anytime you do something for the first time, unlike the Morning Buzz, most people, when they do something the first time, it doesn't really go off smoothly. There's some bumps you got to get over, and we always appreciate people's grace in that.
True.
Thing. But
yeah. Well, cool. I'm excited. Good luck to Hannah and the rest of the cross country people. So they're at Morro Bay. And who else? Tennis? Anything else going on?
Yeah. So we had nothing last night. Next week, though, we'll never say that again. There's just something going on every night forever now. We got softball. Softball is taking the field Saturday. Swim is swimming Saturday. Oh no, swim is swimming today at Morro Bay. Cross country today. Football tonight. So busy today. Tomorrow, softball, and then next week, I don't think we have anything on Monday, but Tuesday it starts. Tennis is playing Tuesday against Mission. Supposed to be quite the showdown. We're undefeated. I don't know what they are, but a lot of people talk about how strong a program they have.
Wow.
So, yeah, Mike. I don't know if you saw this. One other thing. Sorry. Cross country last week, they had Santa Maria guys team had a guy that the the Santa Maria Times said was the best runner in the county. And we have a guy who's won every race, right? Josh Bell. So,
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, of course, that's easy to say because Santa Maria, that's not in San Luis County. So the two of them ran off against each other, and 3-mile race, 12 laps of the track. But Santa Maria's got a huge cross-country team.
Right.
So there were bodies all over the track. And they were neck and neck for the first 10 of 12 laps. And everyone was thinking, oh, man, here it comes. This is going to be a great finish. 10th lap, Santa Maria guy trying to pass one of his own guys, clips his shoulder, goes down, not to be seen. Josh Bell runs away. To be fair, Josh Bell, when you compare the Santa Maria guy's time from the previous week on the same track, Josh Bell beat his time by 20 to 25 seconds. But it would have been neat to see the finish. And that's the only time they go off against each other. So,
well, I think there should be an unofficial rematch, right? If I'm the Santa Maria guy, I'm calling for a rematch.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's cool though. Congratulations to Josh. That's exciting. So what happens after the cross country regular season is over? We're done, right? There's there's no like state finals or anything like that.
No, there's not even CIF. That was one of the things that got canceled. But some of those players may step over into running the long distances for the track team.
Got it. Okay. And then track just kicks off right when cross country ends.
Yeah, they're up practicing right now. I mean,
wow.
In the afternoons.
Sure. Well, I did see.
I got some people coming in, so I got class in 5 minutes.
Go. Have a great day.
All right, bud. Take care.
See you later. Bye.
All right, see you tonight.
All right, that's Mr. Mack. He is the ASB advisor, and he's also the activities director. He is all students, Templeton High School, making sure that those kids have all of the opportunities available to them to just be active participants in their high school experience. So Mr. Mack's awesome. He checks in with us daily as he can. All right, so Pastor Opal's Daily News just put out a post here at 7 a.m. Talking about who's playing tonight. We have, and of course, they use the Templeton Eagles picture for the cover of the story, which is great. It looks like a little practice. Coach Crow's in the pick, and a few of the players. So Tascadero's playing tonight. Paso's playing tonight. Templeton's playing tonight. Paso JV got completely just smoked by St. Joe yesterday. I saw the score ended up being like 48-8 or something like that. So that was the St. Joseph JV team coming up to beat Paso last night at War Memorial Stadium. So let's see here. Templeton's going to have KPRL is going to broadcast that game at 12:30 a.m. at 7 or 99.3 FM. Eagles playing the Tigers. Yep. And Paso will host St. Joe varsity tonight. And then Atascadero is traveling to Santa Maria tonight. If you must, you can listen to the Atascadero game. That's going to be on K-Jug. They carry the Greyhound football games. So what is going? Okay, it's time to check in with the news. Mr. Anthony Reed, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing well.
All right. So did you go out to War Memorial Stadium to watch St. Joe beat the Bearcats last night?
I did not, but I can hear it from my apartment here on 23rd Street in Paso.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I'm good friends with the voice of Paso in Jim Weeman and John Doss and those guys. Funny enough, they call themselves the Sports Idiots, which I think is hilarious.
That's awesome.
I was listening on the live stream. They do a simulcast on the VOP every time that there's a sporting event in Paso, especially when it comes to football. So,
yeah, and they've got, I think they're saying 65 games is what they're broadcasting on the Voice of Paso this year.
Yeah, which is a great thing, especially in this pandemic. So
yeah, those guys. are all, or Steve Martin's an old radio guy that I grew up around, and just another guy in the community that just wants to just do as much as he can to just move our community forward. So Voice of Paso is a cool platform that's been around for a few years now, 5 or 6 years, I think they've been around.
Yeah, it's been a good thing for especially the Paso Robles area. So, yeah,
very cool. All right, well, maybe we'll start Voice of Templeton. I don't know. All right, so what's going on? Anything happened in the last hour?
Not much to report on. I'm just going to go right into what I reported in the first hour, and it's just that the Sheriff's Department, SLO County Sheriffs, gave a follow-up statement on a follow-up on a home invasion that happened on February 13th, 21. And that the suspect, Johnny Jesse Roman of San Luis Obispo, was captured in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and is being extricated, or what was the word? It's Friday.
Yeah, extricated. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Extricate. He's being. Yeah. They're bringing him back here.
Extradition. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's Friday.
Right.
He's being. Okay. I'm sorry. He's being brought back to San Luis County. Is my point. And so he's facing charges of robbery, false imprisonment, elderly abuse, and vehicle theft. So he's being brought back here on a ring of charges. So, and also at 3:30 this morning, there was that solo vehicle accident. I don't know any more information. I wasn't able to get any more information on that collision. That was at the intersection of Creston and Neil Springs Road. That's a little southeast of Paso.
Okay.
Yeah. So no other information other than that. CHP is just doing what they do. They're monitoring some traffic control construction in the Santa Maria area. And so other than that, they just want everybody to be safe on this Friday morning.
All right. Well, that's good news. Thanks for sharing it with us. We'll see you back here at 8:55.
Sounds good.
All right, Anthony, thanks. That's Anthony Reed from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. He runs that Facebook page and has been doing it for quite a while now, reporting all things happening at any given time regarding any incidents and actions in the county. And so Anthony has agreed to come on and share his headlines with us a couple times a day. And we thank him for doing that. So if you do have any incidents that you need to report to him to get out to the general public, you can text the incidents over to 805-423-1541. That is Anthony Reed. All right, so coming up at 8:15, we're going to have Melissa Johnson. Melissa Johnson runs the Parks and Rec department there in town, and she is going to join us. And so we'll talk about all the things going on with the Parks and Rec. We will talk about all of the happenings with youth sports, with volunteer opportunities, and I might talk to her about football. So, Melissa's diehard Templeton, so she's going to be. I'm sure she'll be out and about tonight at some point, possibly flipping up with us. So super excited to have her in every Friday. You'll notice I added some theme music to the show. I just was experimenting to make sure that I could do this, but it seems to be working. Set the mood. Maybe I should come up with a Friday playlist for us. We'll use it as pump-up music. So. All right, it's ZinFest. ZinFest weekend is happening, and so lots of things going on out at the wineries, out and about. Let's see here. Sunday, I talked about Friday and Saturday. I think I left off there we'll go into Sunday's events right now, and then later on in the show, I'll go back and kind of recap all of that stuff. So Broken Earth on Sunday at 1 p.m. is having live music. 5 Parts Devil is the name of the band that's going to be with them. And then also, I mentioned earlier, Natalie Lola is like one of the hardest working musicians on the Central Coast. She's going to be playing at Opolo, a solo show on Sunday. That's at noon. And then Volatus Winery is doing pizzas 12 to 4 on Sunday. They're excited about that. And Stillwater Vineyards has live music with Spike Burr from 1 to 4 on Sunday as well. So in case you missed the top of the show, I'll just run through some of the announcements that we talked about earlier. And again, just making sure that you guys are aware that we are just staying on top of everything that we need to. You've seen those T flags out and about in Templeton. These are the flags. They will be available for purchase tonight at the game. I'll have some in my backpack. A couple others, Marcy and others will have, Mindy will probably have some out there. But if you want to get a T flag, it's $37.50. The profit, which is about $14, that profit goes to the CI. CI is the Culture Initiative at Templeton High School that funds a lot of programs that don't have kids basically that aren't represented by a particular booster program. The CI is that booster program. And so that's a fundraiser they're doing. We've sold 127 of these flags so far. So that's quite a bit, but we ordered another 100 and they're available. And so we want to see everybody on Main Street, everybody in the neighborhoods getting these flags out and supporting our community. And so we will have them tonight. You can DM me if you want me to save one for you, and I'll make sure that I do that. I will be there starting at about 5 p.m. tonight, and so you guys can hit me up if you want to meet up with me. Weather today is going to be high of 59 degrees, scattered showers up until about 6 p.m. We've got a 30% chance of rain, and then it's going to basically tomorrow the sun's going to come out. So it'll be sunny and 60s tomorrow all the way through next week. We're going to get up into the 70s, which is really, really exciting. I can't wait to get back into the 70s and 80s and 90s and all of that fun stuff. So sun sets tonight at 7:14 right after kickoff. And then in case you missed it, also the school issued the statement where, let me find that statement. The school issued the statement in regards to attendance, right? And so the attendance policy is going to be 2 people. 2 people are going to be allowed from each household of the athlete to go to the game. And so, hold on. Let me mute myself. There we go. So if you've got a student athlete playing in tonight's game, you can go, but you can only bring 1 person with you. And so here it is. What's really cool is that they point out, look, it's their desire to try to minimize the roller coaster of changes that frequently occur lately, which we all know that it's been a moving target. And so the school recognizes that. Mr. Aston and Mr. Farley and Mr. Asplund and staff, they recognize that it's really kind of not necessarily a burden on us, but it's more of like an inconvenience, right? Because we've got to plan life. So they realized that, and they said, look, here's what we want to do. We realized that at one point we said 4 people, and then now the CDC or the county guidelines are saying 1 person. So we're going to say 2 people. 2 members of the student athlete's household will be allowed as spectators for outdoor events. So that is the latest ruling as of yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. And so total attendance must still stay in alignment with current regulation that limits attendance to 20% or less of the venue's capacity. Additionally, proper mask use, 6-foot physical distancing, and proper safety precautions will be enforced. It is our intention to revisit this topic in 1 week's time and align our policy and practice with hopefully updated CDPH regulations at that time. So there you go. They're working on the live stream. Coach Farley, Coach Crow, Mr. Aston, if any of you guys are listening, watching, Lori Crow, maybe if you guys can comment and make sure that we, in fact, have confirmation that this live stream is going to happen, because I've been getting messages and notes about it as well, wanting to see if, in fact, it's going to be working. So as soon as I find out if it is going to be working, then we will make sure that people are aware of that. Game is going to be on KPRL, which is at 12:30 a.m. and 99.3 FM. So you can listen to the game, and there might be some bootleg Facebook lives going on if it's not being live streamed. I don't know. So just a guess. Hey, today at 10 a.m., KSBY announced that they're going to have a on their Facebook. If you follow KSBY on Facebook, they go live quite a bit, but follow them on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. They're going to sit down with Penny Borenstein, who is the county. She represents the county in regards to the health. So she's the one that's been doing all the press conferences for the county, the state of the county, as in regards to this pandemic. So she will be doing a Facebook Live at 10 a.m. on KSBY. Snack bar will be open tonight at the football game. So if you want to get involved as a volunteer to help out with the snack bar, you are more than welcome to put your name in the hat, send an email to Templeton Athletics Boosters. It's THS Athletic Boosters Club at gmail.com. Melinda says she welcomes all of the volunteers who are interested in helping out with the snack bar and other boosters related things. And all you need to do is send them an email at THS Athletic Boosters Club at gmail.com. So the snack bar will be open. I don't think they're doing tri-tip sandwiches. I think what the focus and the goal is to have as many prepackaged, prepared items as possible, so that we minimize the opportunity for transmission of any type of obvious, germs or things that cause spikes in outbreaks of COVID. So, so CI will have flags, snack bar will be open. Melissa Johnson will be on with us in 7 minutes or so. She's going to talk about what's going on with all things Templeton Parks and Rec Department. She was on Tuesday and announced that they are looking for referees. And so, not referees, umpires for softball. So if you are 14 or older and you are interested in earning between $30 and $50 a game, you can become an umpire and help out with youth programs. So that's very cool. Again, it's ZinFest weekend. Mid-State Fair today is having their Mid-State Fair market from 11 to 6 today. Lots of antiques, lots of artisans and crafts and shopping going on over there from 11 to 6. It's free to get in, and they have food available as well. Bonnie Loftus from Jimmy's is going to be, I think, having food going over there. So lots of live music going on this weekend because it's ZinFest, and so the North County's buzzing. We're going to have the sun out. There's going to be Zinfandel. There's going to be live music, great food. It's almost like normal, old normal, but maybe not. I'm sure everybody's going to be complying with the guidelines, maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, and also, staying home if you are in fact experiencing any any symptoms of COVID or sickness. It's just sickness in general. So out and about, lots of people this weekend, the sun too. So Ducey's going to have some live music today. If you want to go get lunch and live music, 12 to 3, Matt Cross is playing at Ducey Vineyards. Derby Wine Estates at 4 is doing a vintage happy hour. That's from 4 to 6. Cass Winery Sunset Social featuring the band Unfinished Business. That's at 6 p.m. The Poorhouse has a reggae band tonight. Roz, Danny, the Reggae All-Stars, 7 p.m. If you're not live streaming the football game or in attendance there, you're going to the Poorhouse. And then the Rodeo has Ghost Monster. It's a duo starting at 9. And then Locatelli Vineyards in San Miguel from 1 to 4 today has music from Matt Davis. So Bearcats lost their JV game last night at War Memorial Stadium. They lost. It was 40, I believe it was 48-6 or 48-8. But St. Joseph came in to town and whooped up on them. So the varsity's playing tonight over at War Memorial as well. Paso St. Joe. Atascadero is traveling down to Pioneer Valley, Santa Maria, and then obviously Templeton will be playing Wasco here at home in Templeton. So you can catch the Atascadero game if you're interested in listening to the Greyhound football broadcast. That's on KJUG. Paso is being broadcast on voiceofpaso.com, and then Templeton is on KPRL. And KPRL's got 2 signals, an AM and an FM signal. AM is 1230 and FM is 99.3. And if you guys haven't listened to KPRL on their FM signal, it sounds really good. So it'll be fun to listen to Templeton Eagle football in FM, right, in stereo. So that's going to happen tonight. Dick Mason will be out there, and Mr. Mack teased it. There's a special guest color commentator with Dick Mason tonight. So I think I'm curious to find out who it is. Is it you, Ben? Is it Ben Swan? That would be interesting. Atascadero versus AG, I believe now. Did they make that change? I think they did. You're absolutely right. So yeah, AG. Okay. Yeah, so lots of changes happening with the football schedule because this thing is just so kind of minute by minute, hour by hour as these kids are getting tested. I believe next week's game that we are having is changed at this point to as of now it's postponed, but they were looking for a game to fill in, and so I should have asked Mr. Mack what he had heard, but maybe we can get somebody like Coach Farley or Mr. Aston to give us an update if we can before the show's over today. Because these kids are being tested. They're making sure that they've got if there is an outbreak, they're taking all the precautions. And so it's one of those things where we as a community just have to make sure that we're maintaining our flexibility and obviously setting the tone in our household for just showing our kids that, hey, you know what, let's be flexible and we can adapt, because that's what life's all about. So we just have to adapt. All right, we got Melissa Johnson coming in at some point here. Let me just make sure we message her and get her out of bed. Tuesday she came on as a makeup from last Friday. Last Friday she was unable to attend because she had an issue with one of her pets, and so sending her a message right now. Melissa, wake up. So she can talk about, oh, there she is. She just popped in. Hold on. Stand by. I was just sending you hate mail. Did you hear me? Melissa, can you hear me? Melissa.
Going.
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. I was just saying that I'm sending you hate email on your chat to wake you up.
Sorry, what was that? I think I was having some technical difficulties on.
No, I think I had a bad connection or something. I was harassing you on the Facebook chat to saying that I was waking you up.
That's fantastic. Well, I do work late. Like my hours are 9 to 6, right? So it's kind of fun to be up, early at 8 a.m. My goodness.
Right.
How privileged am I?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so let's get some business out of the way real quick. I've been announcing that you guys are still looking for umpires. Is that still the case?
Always the case. Always need umpires. I would bet
Okay.
$5 Templeton Youth Baseball needs umpires too. So
Okay. So my son is 16. He's going to send you a message
fantastic.
to sign up. He's a football player, so he's really only available on Saturdays. I don't
That's
know
all
if
right.
that's okay. So I just want to make sure that if these kids do want to do it, but they have limited schedules, you're okay with sending them that way anyways.
It's the benefit of being the person who makes not only the game schedules, but the work schedules is we can work around about everything. Right?
Perfect. Okay. So we'll
it's
just
an experience for the kids. They should be able to do multiple things at different times. So
yeah. Well, that's good. I don't want to discourage kids from volunteering if they have a limited schedule but want to volunteer. So
that's exactly right.
cool. Well, very cool. Okay, so we've got umpires can make anywhere between $30 and $50 a game. You've got the clinic next week on the 27th that teaches them how to be an umpire.
Yes.
Cool. What else am I
And it's
missing
at
with
10
the
a.m.
umpires? 10
It's at
a.m.
10 a.m. I got a bunch of paperwork they'll have to do. I'll be honest. Very interestingly, the state of California requires non-supervisory employees to go through a few steps. So I have to make him participate in a 1-hour sexual harassment training, which is interesting. But I watched it the other day. It's not too bad.
That's good.
It is. It's not bad, right? It's a lot better than me trying to teach a bunch of high schoolers not to sexually harass people live and in person. They can do it online, alone, where nobody else has to talk to them about these things. Or maybe you can instead of me.
Yeah, right.
I appreciate it.
Okay, well,
and
cool.
then lots of paperwork and nonsense, but we work with them on the paperwork for the most part. We get that we are a lot of kids' first jobs, right? We're the first boss. So I'm always happy to help them out to get through the process because there's a lot of weird questions. So by the time they're done, though, they'll have their social security numbers memorized. It'll be good for them.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so then they can just go down to the Parks and Rec or call 805-434-4909.
That's right.
And you could pass them off to someone else.
Ken answers the phone, and then yeah, it'll be a good time though. And come down because we have a whole packet of things we can give them. So I mean, they can call, they can email, however we want to get a hold of us. But eventually I'm going to need to see them in person, so they might as well come down for a packet.
Perfect. Okay. What else is going on? What other announcements do you want to make to the community?
Holy smoke. So I'm sure, judging by your guest list, I'm sure we're talking about the slow count one spectator per player situation here.
Yeah. So the high school came out last night and changed their ruling.
Yeah. So what did the high school say?
The high school, as of today, is allowing 2 members per the household for each athlete.
Very cool. So yeah, I've never been more thankful that we don't start games until April 17, which is about a month away. I have a feeling that some of this guidance might change in the next month as we progress. But yeah, the state of California, surprise announcement, and then SLO County, which is what they need to do, I suppose, following those rules and those guidelines, saying 1 observer per household is supposed to be in attendance at at the games, and it was kind of interesting to see this after we had done all this work to limit attendance based on capacity and what an outdoor facility can reasonably handle with 6-foot spacing and masks. So I am in a very lucky position where I get to wait it out. I don't have to make any final determination right now. We don't start games till after spring break. I think that's just before the football season ends, and there'll be other sports happening, of course. So we're gonna wait it out a little, see how this changes before I tell T-ball player that only his mom or only her dad can show up to a game. So we'll see what happens.
Or you're gonna have 12 coaches for every team.
That's what I figure. I mean, there's never been a better time for the rec department to get a lot of volunteers, right? We'll just fingerprint the lot of you. One parent can coach, the other parent can observe. If grandpa needs to get involved, we'll get him fingerprinted too.
Have their own personal coach.
Well, right? Why not? It's T-ball. Have you ever seen that? They might need it. Softball, not so much. You get too many Chiefs in a dugout, and we're going to have issues. But
I just say that's like a real coach's nightmare to have all of the parents coaching.
I will tell you that we have been joking in the office that if this holds true, then we're going to have the easiest season ever, because I don't know if you guys know this. The community might. The people who are causing problems on a youth sports field are never the children playing the games, right? It's usually the adults around that dislike something or don't agree with the other thing or whatever. Right. So, I mean, if we got one parent per kid out there or one adult per child, man, my life just got a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kid, we want you there supporting your children. Give me a break.
How funny. That's too funny. Okay, so you've got about a month then until you have to kind of make a hard decision.
Yes.
Or maybe it won't be a hard decision, right?
Oh, it'll be tough either way. How do I tell somebody not to watch their kid, not to cheer their kid on, man? That's crazy. Not only that, it's not only Templeton parents that we're saying this to. When we're talking about softball, for example, we're playing Paso Robles, we're playing Atascadero, we're playing San Luis, right? Mm-hmm. How do I tell them you can't come up and watch your kid? Only one of you can transport your child to a game.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a weird thing.
Do you know what are the other cities doing? Are they kind of waiting to see with you too?
So funny enough, we're the only rec department in the county right now that is starting up youth programs, youth sports that actually run the youth sports, right? A lot of departments have youth sports on their facilities, renting facilities, but they're not actually in charge of those programs, only the facilities they use.
Okay.
So I know City of Paso, for example, they are, allowing games, allowing practices, making people sign off on the rules, and we'll go out for to enforce like egregious violations, right? But in the rec world, none of us want to be the park police, right? These are public spaces that you're supposed to enjoy. So we try to be very cautious between, we need to enforce certain rules, right? But maybe we don't need to pay a security person to be out there to, check IDs, guarantee who's with who and all of that, right?
Right.
We have a lot of faith in our community. And across the board, every department I know of, their leaders have a lot of faith in their communities and will have you sign off on the rules. And unless something really, really awful is going on, we want you to enjoy our parks as much as we want your kids to enjoy the game and all of that. So I can't speak for every city specifically and exactly what they're doing. But I know that sort of that model, that idea of enjoying public open space is exactly where most of us are at. So
awesome. Well, that's good. That's why we live here, right?
That's kind of the idea. Where else do we get beautiful weather in February and March? And
I know,
the kind of stuff we want to be outside for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, we're gonna get a lot of rain in April, May, right? Because that's when we're supposed to not have rain
That's exactly it. I always joke that if you want to guarantee a good rainstorm, hand out some softball or baseball rosters, right?
Right.
That's exactly what'll happen. So
Exactly.
we'll get at Evers. We joke about the little Lake Templeton that builds up on Shelby Field there.
Yeah.
As soon as it's softball season, let's get the rains, right? It's like a personal rain dance or something.
Jeez. Okay, so I told you last time we were going to use some of today to talk about you.
Yeah.
And get to know you, right? And so my background, I grew up in Paso, moved away in 95, got back here in 15. Okay. And we settled in Templeton. And that's when I met you, being involved in my son's youth stuff.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about you prior to 2015. So tell me, who's Melissa Johnson?
Okay, so I was born in San Luis because we didn't have a hospital up here, I guess. I don't know. Oh, no. Actually, let me tell you something nobody knows. My dad's dad, my paternal grandfather, was the first hospital administrator at Twin Cities.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
What year was that?
Oh, God, whenever it was built, which, given his age, probably in the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere around there. I got an article about it. I'll have to find it. So I was born in San Luis. We lived in Atascadero for a while. My whole family lived in Atascadero. We moved. My mom got a job up in Vacaville for a few years, so I lived in Vacaville as well, up north by, Sacramento, kind of. And so I went there. About my freshman year, we moved back down here and started going to Templeton High School. So I graduated from Templeton, class of '97. There were like 90 kids in that class, I think.
Wow.
Kind of a big thing. I think that included the Eagle Canyon kids because we used to graduate all together. So 90 to 100 kids, something like that. So I'm an Eagle, and I have a banner in the gym. I was on the girls' soccer team, so we won CIF in '97. It was the first year, the first of a dynasty. I think they won for 3 or 4 years after that. So it wasn't me. It was definitely the girls on the team.
Right.
What else? I moved to Sacramento, went to Sac State, got a degree in music. I play the tuba.
So do you know that I'm a Hornet?
Yeah, no, I did not know that. Seriously.
I left Paso, graduated in '95, went to Sac State.
Dude, we were there at the same time. I just spent all my time locked in a small practice room playing my tuba.
See, I actually quit.
Oh,
I quit before you got there and moved to LA to play drums.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was in a band in LA, and I said, you know what? College is not for me. I'm going into music. And I went and got jobs at radio stations and played music in a band down there. So
That's the coolest thing I ever heard, man. That is awesome. We were that close to our paths crossing.
What's that?
We
I
were
know.
so close to having our paths cross.
Exactly. Do you remember what dorm did you live in?
The good one.
Blue and white, Desmond.
Desmond Hall.
Yeah. I was in Desmond Hall. I was room 236, I think.
I think I was 3 something.
Okay.
I was on the 3rd floor. And
Yeah.
my randomly assigned roommate is still to this day one of my best friends.
No
So,
kidding.
We were the only pairing that didn't ask to switch during that year, right?
Wow.
And then we moved in together after that too.
That's so cool.
Yeah, drama nerds and nerds, we're the same.
I joined a fraternity like the first day I got to school there. These guys,
Which one?
these guys Lambda Chi Alpha.
Nice. Okay.
These guys were like, "Hey, can we carry your stuff up to your room for you?" I'm like, "Sure." And then they said, "Hey, by the way, we're having a party tonight." And I'm like, "I love college already."
This is the best thing I ever decided.
Exactly. Yeah. So my roommate and I both actually graduated from Paso Robles High School and went up there together. And we're still really good, close friends. But yeah, Desmond Hall was wild.
Oh my gosh. It was a good time. It was a good time. There were stories that I will never tell on the radio show.
Yeah. Okay. So you graduated from Sac State as a music.
Yeah, I have a bachelor of music degree in tuba performance.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, what can you do with that? Run a rec department, I suppose.
You could, well, or you could be a band teacher.
Yeah, I was going to be a band teacher. Actually, that was the path I was heading down, and some things in life happened, and I was a little less excited about things like administration or people telling me what to do for a little while. So I came back to Templeton, and I got a job at the rec department. So when I was in high school, I worked at the rec department. I was a soccer ref. I was a basketball scorekeeper. I would work Saturday mornings for soccer, setting up fields, ref all the games, like 8 or 9 games, go take down the fields. And, that's what I did. I worked for a woman named Pam Donahue, who was amazing. And so when I came back from college, I thought, well, let's go see what they need and get me some money because I'm broke and I need to get a job.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to be a teacher or what. So I started monitoring the skate park and working with the kids in the after school program, and I had like 4 jobs at one time right after college. And then eventually the person who was in my position now was leaving. So I took over. And then it just morphed. 16 years later, it morphed into what it is now. So
who do you report to?
So I have 2 bosses. One is Lori Ion. She's like my direct report. She's the, I guess technically her title now is assistant to the general manager and board secretary for Templeton CSD. She's just kind of a layer between me and the general manager. But Lori, that lucky duck, is getting ready to retire. So they report to general manager Jeff Briltz, who's equally awesome. So
and they're located here in Templeton at the CSD?
At CSD, like where you pay your water bill, right?
Sure.
Next door to the fire department. We're all united, right? So
Got it.
Templeton is like a small town that exercises its latent powers of governance over water, wastewater, fire, parks and rec, and streetlights.
Awesome. And concerts. Very cool. Okay, so you played tuba.
Yeah.
Were you on the field marching band Causeway Classic every year?
Every year.
Sac State versus Davis.
My freshman year at the dorms. So my freshman year at the dorms, we were hosting the Causeway Classic, the Sac State and Davis showdown, right? And the Davis marching band showed up at the dorms and tried to troll us, except for a bunch of my friends were living in the dorms and we all had our horns out. So we just played back at them. And it was actually really fun. It's like midnight
awesome.
in front of the dorms on a Friday night, right? And we're just like blasting at 2 different bands, like a band off, right? It was
That's so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm not sure how everybody else felt about it. You get like a couple bands with more than 100 people in it. That doesn't even count the drums. You know what I mean? And you've got these horns that can wail, and these kids, like the people in band at that point, they can really play, right? They're not just like, oh, mom's making me do this, dad's making me do this. They can play. So we marched them off our campus.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was
How fun.
So I did that, and the wind ensembles and the orchestra and the whole bit. Like I can actually play the crap out of a tuba. I still play the tuba. I play with Cuesta. They have like a community band, and the kids that go to Cuesta have to take a band class, but there's not enough of them to fill out a full band. So they have community members come sit out, and what a shocker right there, and mentor kids. It's great. There's a couple boys from playing the tuba too.
Stacy Jeffers says, "So not what I ever pictured for Melissa Johnson. Who knew?"
Oh, thanks. I'm a jack of all trades, sweetie.
That's so cool. All right. So, what do you spend your downtime doing?
I'm very.
Or do you have downtime?
But that's
what's that?
This last year, haven't we all? Right?
Yeah. Right.
So I like to read. I read like a whole book every weekend, right? Because I do a lot of very social things, right? Everywhere I go, everything I do, there's people there. I kind of, like a few years ago, realized that I walk through life in a public way, imagining that I'm just being recorded at all times so I don't mess up that bad, right? So I sit at home and I am quiet and I don't talk. And my wife is like, oh my God, why isn't she talking? And I read. I just read books, fantasy books, and all kinds of crazy. So
Decompress.
I read a lot, and then I do like garden. I like to garden.
Okay. Wow. That's
I'm a
cool.
quiet
Yeah.
person.
I need to do more reading. I go through phases like every 10 years, I'll just be into books for
Yeah.
like a year and then it stops. So like I can't remember the last thing I read. So you read fantasy. What
Yeah,
else?
well,
do
I
you
read everything, but yeah, I
Okay.
love fantasy books. Yeah.
Yeah,
When I was in 6th grade, I had a teacher give us a list for a reading thing, like a readathon or something, and I had read every single book on the list by 6th grade. And so she gave me this book called The Hero and the Crown, and it was about a female dragon slayer, and I was hooked. That was it. I'm done. Like, thank you,
Yeah.
Mrs. Sanders. You changed my life. Like, it was amazing.
That's awesome. You remember the Scholastic News where
Yes.
you'd order all the books and
I used to live for that.
right? Yeah, that was yeah, my fondest memory is Georgia Brown Elementary School in Paso. We would just get that Scholastic News and the book, and then you'd get like a stack of books.
Oh, dude. And remember bringing home the catalog or the little sheet of papers and you'd circle all the ones you'd want?
Totally, yeah.
Oh, mom would get it for you? Or
And then your mom would be like, no, you can't have 50. You
yeah,
have
you have
have
$10. Which 3 do you want?
right, exactly. Oh, yeah, the kids don't do that anymore, do they?
No, well, audiobooks, dude. Audiobooks are amazing. So I know a lot of kids that listen to audiobooks, and that is
Okay.
also, I don't think it's reading necessarily, but it's the consumption of knowledge, and that's a good thing.
Sure.
So, yeah. So audiobooks are good. I know a lot of kids that still read, but yeah, maybe it's a dying art. I don't know. Let's be honest, kids. You've seen what high schoolers have to do. You've seen
Yeah.
what they have for homework. They don't have time for that crap.
No.
Only adults have time to consume mindless knowledge, right? Kids are like, get your nose on that grindstone and get your booty into college, man.
I know.
Or like
I
learn a
know.
trade,
Yeah.
like that's what
for
you
sure.
have time for.
So with your elementary age children that Parks and Rec serves, what programs besides sports do we have available in our community?
Not a lot, which honestly, thanks for bringing up what feels like my biggest failure.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. It
Book
is
club. We want a book club.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Like, so we do in our building, we host a preschool program. We do have the skate park, obviously. Our preschool program is run by Miss Wendy Rasmussen, who is amazing. She's an incredible person. She also typically, during normal years, runs an after-school homework club. So the kids come for that and get some extra help on their homework. We have the library, the reading room in there with the Templeton Community Library Association. So that's where I get all my books. And it's also for every child everywhere. It's sort of like a safe place to be, right? So we've got some older kids that have maybe 20 or 30 minutes between getting picked up from school or from the time school gets let out and the time their parent can pick them up. A lot of them just come and hang out, right?
Yeah.
They come and do maybe a few minutes of homework or grab some chicken strips and come hang out a minute, or things get weird at the skate park and they come in and relax a little, or when there's not basketball happening, we come out back and shoot some hoops. So a lot of what we have beyond like organized sports activities tends to be more sort of almost like a safe place for kids to be, with like normal fingerprinted adults who will help guide you through a difficult thing, or also just leave you alone if you need to be quiet, right?
An actual real Parks and Rec community center.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'll be gosh darned if they don't have a place to go that feels comfortable for them, you know?
Sure.
So, and every once in a while we pick up a few wayward kids and make them clean things because they need different lessons than other kids need. So.
Right. Yeah. So how do you go about controlling that skate park? I know there's a lot of, and my kid, we were in Murrieta, Temecula down south for a long time, and then San Jose. And so Noel was exposed to a lot of skate parks all the time, and they were awesome. I mean, scooters, skating, you name it, old kids, young kids. Old kids would like take the young kids under their wing and show them how to do stuff. But then every once in a while you had the old kids that were, not their they were there for other reasons. So yeah, how do you go about kind of policing that, but not, because you don't want to have an environment where the kids don't want to show up, right?
Yeah, remember I said we don't want to be the park police either, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a fine line, right?
Pay me to sit at the skate park and babysit, all the time, right? So it's a couple things. First of all, I don't know. I love that we have a skate park. I don't love the location of it. You know what I mean? Our park is amazing. It's actually a really cool skate park, but they put it behind 2 buildings and adjacent to the railroad track. So it's really like my ideal skate park is wide out in the open where everybody can see what's happening, right?
Right.
Because skate parks do attract a certain element, right? And it's a normal factor. Not all of it, is bad. Most of it, honestly, when I look at the skate park, I see 20 kids doing a positive, healthy recreational activity without anybody telling them what to do or how to do it or that they have to do it, right? They're being physically active, and it's a beautiful thing. However, we do have that, that 1-2%, those couple of guys. So a lot of times first of all, we have cameras, right? And they know it. So when something gets weird, we review cameras and we go out there immediately and call them on their nonsense, right?
Right.
A lot of that requires that things get reported, right? The other thing is we have, and we're working to rebuild, we have in the past had this little Templeton skate crew, and it's full of knuckleheads, right? These knuckleheads that made all the mistakes when they were 17, well, probably 15 to 25, and have finally matured, and they help a lot to sort of mentor the kids in a really cool way because they still are a little bit knuckleheady, So they're, like I always say that, the kids, they don't want to be me when they grow up. I'm an old lady. They want to be high school. They want to be like a freshman in college.
Sure.
They're not thinking as far down the line as like you or I, right? So sometimes it helps to get the cool guys out there, little schoolyard justice, right? So when something goes really bad, I'll deal with it directly, absolutely. But then I put the crew on it, like, handle this because you won't like the consequences if I have to come out and do it again, right? If you want this place to stay open, then you need to take care of it, right? So a lot of it we handle that way. Mr. Ken Zink in the office, right? He's a skater and he goes out on lunch breaks and he'll skate for his lunch break, and it's kind of it's good. He gets the opportunity to have some like solo lunch break time, right? But he also gets a good handle on what's happening out there and kind of helps mentor and stuff too, which is cool. He's becoming the old man too. Like, he turned 30 and,
Now, did he grow up here?
No, Ken's from the Bay Area. So he's from the Bay Area, came down to San Luis for Cal Poly. Okay. And started making a name for himself in the rec world. He did some internships at Morro Bay. He did some work at City of Atascadero, and then we scooped him up when we had our full-time position come open. So
awesome.
Best thing that ever happened. So.
He's been here. Well, yeah. I mean, when I got here in 15, he was here. How long has he
I
been
think
here?
that was the first year. It was either 14 or 15 when he started. So he's, he's becoming the staple, right? And it's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, what else do you want to talk about? It's 8:45. You've been on for a half hour.
Geez, I was telling someone the other day, I was never the quietest voice in the room, and you ask excellent leading questions, so it's easy for me to fill this time.
Well, I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely, man. I gotta get to work too. It's like we canceled our cleaning services during the pandemic, so it's cleaning day at the rec department.
Do what you can to make ends meet.
Showed up this week, so they left a trail of glitter through the building. We're gonna have our work cut out for us when we get there.
Oh, nice. Well, very cool. All right, so we will talk to you next Friday. In the meantime, between now and then, if anything happens that you want to get the word out, shoot me a text or whatever, and I'll make sure that everybody hears it, or you can come on anytime. So.
Hey, you're awesome, dude. Football game tonight. I'm so excited to live.
I know. Are you going to be there?
No, I'm not going to go. I don't want to put them in a position to have to kick me out. You know what I mean? I want to
understand.
Respect what's going on. Plus, I got a few things going on between work and the game. So I will obviously offer my services as a bouncer if they need it. I'll never let the kids down. I'll never let the schools down. So if they need something, I'll be there. But I think
Cool.
for now we're gonna gather as a family and watch my nephew Josh Burnham, number 6. He's gonna shred it up on that football field. So go
Yes,
Eagles!
you will. So you're related to Brendler?
Yeah, he's my we call him my father outlaw. So
Okay.
he is my brother's wife's dad. Right.
Brother's wife's dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my father-in-law, kind of my brother's father-in-law, my father-in-law. He's around. He's part of our crew.
He was on the PD with my stepdad growing up. So
Very cool. Yeah.
I've known Mr. Brendler since I was a little kid. He used
That's
to keep
awesome.
me in line. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother and his daughter have been together since time immemorial, I think since high school. So
Wow.
they're like high school sweethearts, made the family the whole bit. So he's
So
been
cool.
around. I mean, I've known him, I think, longer than I didn't know him,
Right.
which is pretty cool. So
Awesome. All right. Well, go Eagles. Appreciate your time today,
Eagles.
Melissa. We'll see you later.
Thank you, man. Enjoy. We'll
See ya.
see you out there.
All right. See ya. All right, that's Melissa Johnson, who heads up the Parks and Rec department here in Templeton. She is an amazing person who is absolutely adored by every kid in our community for everything that she does. Sorry, I'm changing my seats here. Okay, so let's see. We've got about 9 minutes left, 14 minutes left. I've got to jump right at 9 a.m. I'm supposed to be actually doing an interview on KJUG this morning right around 9, talking about a foundation that I'm a part of called the Heritage Foundation at the California Mid-State Fair. Heritage Foundation is, in a typical year, we do about $700,000 in revenue coming into the Heritage Foundation, and a lot of that money goes back out, obviously, to support the fairgrounds, the agricultural needs of the fairgrounds. Heritage Foundation was responsible for helping raise the funds to build the barn, the new ag barn there at the fairgrounds. So on a typical year, we're doing about $700,000 in revenue, and actually, 65,000 of that goes to concessions, and then 192,000 or balcony seats, and all of that money, it goes back out. Well, obviously, in the last year, that money has not come in, and so we are having to think outside the box and look for alternative ways to keep our community involved in the fair, but also keep revenues coming in. And so the Heritage Foundation is hosting a auction that's going to be an online event, a virtual auction, where we're going to be auctioning off all kinds of great experiences and trips and food and wine and beverages and you name it. So Mr. Tom Kafuri has invited me to come on with him at around 9 to talk through what that auction looks like. And if there are things that you guys out there have that want to that you want to donate as part of the online auction, maybe as a prize or something, then please, by all means, you can send me a DM, get in touch with me, and I'll make sure that I get you in touch with the right people. So that's just something cool that we're trying to do at the fairgrounds to make sure that we keep that thing pushing ahead forward in the right direction. So, man, okay, I'm winding down the week. We're gonna have some news coming up at 8:55. Mr. Anthony Reed's gonna join us to talk about anything exciting that's happening in the world of incidents and actions. We had a great week. We had Monday. We had a guest on named Kelly Reed Dalton. Kelly Reed Dalton is part of the Templeton Heritage Tree Foundation. She has a foundation that's dedicated to just enriching the knowledge of our beautiful oaks, but also helping to maintain their beauty and their growth and their the ability to have them continue to be, flourishing on the Central Coast and in the North County. And so her foundation is awesome. And the work that she's doing to preserve those oaks and keep our county or looking as beautiful as it's known for is really cool. So she came on Monday. I'm going to do some editing over the weekend and chop that interview up and make sure it's available on the Morning Buzz. We also had, who did we have? We had Mr. Mack came on a few times. We had Christine Ames on this week. Christine is amazing. She's been with Templeton Unified for 24 plus years. She came on. She's part of the senior class fundraising committee that is raising money for activities for the senior class. And so she talked about that. The Seas Candies, I think, is the last day is today to order those Seas. So if you go on to the Tuesday show in Facebook, click on the link in the stream, you'll see that the Seas Candies are there. Also, she helps out with the homeschool program for Templeton Unified. So she talked through what that looks like. Mr. Aston came on, talked about these kids getting back to school this week and what that looked like, and all of the cool things that happened and the challenges that they had, and you know what all of the new norms, right, that are being created. Eric Lewis came on. He was from the high school. He's on every Wednesday, so he did a little history lesson for us, and that was fun. We talked about Andrew Jackson possibly not being born in the United States because the math didn't line up, right? So at one point, Andrew Jackson said that there was a bar fight that he got into with a certain guy, but if in fact you did the math, the story would be Andrew Jackson would have been 10 years old at the time of that bar fight. So something didn't really line up there. So there's thought of maybe him coming over from England later than he was born, instead of his parents coming over and then him being born here. So Coach Crow gave us an audio update on the phone because we couldn't get his visual going, but he's talking about the game tonight. He said the defensive line is big. It's all a bunch of returning players, and we look good. And so Wasco, if we can stop their run game, then we should have a pretty decent opportunity to come out victorious tonight. So let's hope that we can. And so that was kind of his update that he gave us. The district update. Mr. Asplund and Mr. Burnett came on to talk about all of the planning that they're doing for next year, all of the additional funding that's coming into the $2 million that we're getting from AB 86 from the funding is going to go towards certain programs. So that's cool. And then we visited with Lindsay Franklin. Lindsay is a Templeton alum. She was the old athletic director who has since left there and gone to be the manager of sports and programming at the Special Olympics for Southern California in San Luis Obispo County. So that was cool to get a visit in with her. We also had Mr. Jack Chirac on this week. Jack is the man in charge of the Templeton Esports Club. Templeton has an esports team and club. They compete online gaming with other schools, and online gaming is like a $2 billion industry. It's massive. And these are great opportunities for our kids to be involved in competitive activities and organizations that help them learn different life skills, but also doing it with things that they love to do, right? And video games is one of them. And so online gaming, esports is becoming a thing. It's been a thing, but now it's really a thing. And so Jack came on and talked about esports with us, and it was super cool to see him. I posted that interview yesterday on the Instagram as well. So, and then if you guys are out and about this weekend and you want to swing through my good buddy Matt's shop at the Mercantile in Atascadero, it's next to the what is it, China Gourmet Restaurant, I believe it's called, or something like that, on El Camino Real. So the Mercantile at Irish Oaks Ranch, he has all kinds of grass raised, farm raised beef, lamb, pig, and poultry as well. And in addition, his kids have their own lines of products They do goat milk soap, and they do lotions and lip balms, and you name it. So really cool store. It's the Mercantile at Irish Oaks Ranch. That interview is also on the Facebook page that you can go check out as well. So, all right, at this time, we're going to get Mr. Anthony Reed back in with us. What's happening, man?
Hey, not much. I did do some word pronunciation.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
With the word extradition. So
extradition. Yeah.
Yeah. So not much is going on for this hour as we wrap up the show. But however, I did want to turn our attention to a little press release that came out late last night, actually early this morning, actually. The sheriff's recognized one of their Faith Story was recognized for her skills and for her job that she does as a police dispatcher for the sheriff's department. I know that I had to dial 911 about a year ago for a vehicle accident that I was in. So dispatchers obviously played a role in my call well, and because I wasn't able to tell my location because I was actually underneath a car. So
oh wow.
So yeah, so I'll more about that at a later time. So, but I'm still here, so it's a good thing. So
there you go.
Yeah, dispatchers, they have a special place in my heart. So we congratulate Faith Story on her job. It doesn't say how long that she's been on her job, but nonetheless, we do express our gratitude and our thankfulness towards her and her job.
For sure. Do me a favor and post that press release to Pastor Robles Incidents page, and I'll share that onto the Morning Buzz. That's a really cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Much over that, CHP isn't reporting anything. The roadways are slick this morning. They're having a little. They're actually expecting some late rain maybe this evening. Okay. So just be aware for slick roads this afternoon and evening, much over what I've already discussed. In that the suspect in the home invasion in rural San Luis Obispo, Jesse Roman, is waiting extradition back to San Luis County for his charges that are robbery, false imprisonment, and elder abuse and vehicle theft. So he's going to be arraigned on those charges here in the near future. So on Monday morning, I will have a weekend roundup. So you can expect that on Monday.
Beautiful. All right, man. Well, sounds good. You're going to listen to the Bearcats tonight, and I'm going to listen to the Eagles, and then we'll report back our findings on Monday to each other.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, Anthony. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
All right, you do the same.
Thanks. Bye. All right, that's Anthony Reed, who is Pastor Robles Incidents and Action Facebook page. It's a really good up-to-date page that reports everything going on here in the North County. So but that's it. It's 8:59, and I'll end the show with some theme music. There we go. It's Friday. It's football. Life is good. Forget about all your worries. Be kind to others and enjoy. I think it'll be a good evening. All right, you guys, weekend, be safe, and we will talk to you on